guys, in today's review we'll be on an all new tooled piece of rolling stock from EFE Rail or Bachmann Europe. And this was announced during the 2024 summer announcements that Bachmann do every quarter. And we are looking at a Great Western Bloater fish van, 10 tons. I believe this is era free. Product code you need for this is 8A7059. Like I said, it's era free. It's 10 tons. Its running number is 2603. Great Western brown with the shirt button on the side. That's what I went for because I quite like deliveries with shirt button on. And at the end, I'll tell you what I paid for this. So let's get into review and see if this new tooled fish van is any good, shall we? So here goes. We do have some detail parts to add, which is air pipe or vacuum pipe or steam pipe. Something like this. There's 4 pipes in this resealable bag. This model does have metal sprung buffers and they're quite easily sprung as well. We have the shanks, the buffer beam and the hook. They're all in black. The buffers themselves are in black as well. We have a few rivets and screws dotted around the hook and the shanks of the buffer. We also have a NEM pocket with a small tension lock in there. As we move on up, we do have some bracing. We have some going up and some going across. We also have this wood effect going on. And in the middle, it's solid wood. And at the top and the bottom, I believe it's slightly in for ventilation. I believe because these were a fish van. And as you can tell, this is in a brown, the Great Western brown, and we also have a number 11 near the top on the left hand side. Hopefully the wood effect going in should come out on camera, hopefully. And I think there's a few rivets as well on the metalwork and supports. So as we move on to the side of this fish van, both sides of this fish van are exactly the same. Delivery of the fish van, as you probably guessed from the front or the back, depending on your preference, is brown. It's in the Great Western brown. And it has the shirt button in the centre between the 2 lots of doors on your left hand side and the 1 door on your right hand side. We have a crisply applied shirt button logo from the Great Western. We also have the 10-ton bloater van. Again, that's in the same yellow as the Great Western badge. And we have some other writing the other side as well, which from here I can't see, so I do apologise. Hopefully the pictures will do it justice. All the stuff on the van is crisply moulded. So we have the door handles, we have the locks, the latches, the supports, the metal work. It's all crisply moulded. I believe it is one piece. Again, like I said, it is in Great Western brown. We also have the number of the van. If you're interested, the number of the van is 2603, if I have that correct. As we move down to the chassis of the van, the chassis I think is metal. We do have a few plaques and writing on the chassis. From here it is a little bit hard to read. We also have a star just below the shirt button logo, but on the chassis that is there. As you can tell, we have, like I said, 3 doors, so that means you have 3 lots of steps or footboards, and they look to be separately applied to the model, and they are quite sturdy. We also have some underframe detail as well around the same area, and we have outer springs around the spoked wheels. We also have a small white handbrake on one side, then on the other side it's in the same place but different. Again, it's white, it's to do with the brakes, and you can see the brake pads and stuff around here too. Overall, there's quite a lot of detail to look at. As we do a top down now to look at the roof, from this angle you can see them 6 lots of footballs in total. The roof itself does have 6 rain ducts on, so over each of the doors. We also have, I think it's vents as well. At the top we only have 4, so 2 and 2. It's more like a zigzag shape. And the roof is in a cream or white colour. And finally, as we do an underneath look at this Great Western fish van, first off we do have kinematic couplers at either end. They're a bit like the ones on my Pullman. And these look to do the job. Like I said, we do have a pocket on these. And then one, if you want to change it out for a bigger coupler, you can. We have metal wheels and axles. I believe these are pinpointed and they run quite smooth. You can also see some wood flooring under there, along with some piping and some supports and some rivets too. There's a cylinder which I think is for the braking system. Looking at all the piping that goes to it, all the connections. There is 2 screws under there if you want to take it apart. The brake shoes do line up with the wheels, and then we have the buffers at the end. Like I said, you can also see the footboards from here too, and their supports as well. Overall, it is a highly detailed fish van and underneath of the fish van to go with it. So yeah guys, that's it on the track. So next up will be the usual coupling tests I do, just to see if the couplings are at the right height and they're not drooping at all. So what it will be coupling up to are two vans, both 10 tons I believe, and one's the EFE one, which is Bachmann or Kerner, depending on your preference. I think it's Bachmann. And that is the S&DJR grey one, as you can see. And the other side we have the Dapple Dad's Army Jones God, because it's a meat van, I thought fish meat. Let's see if it will couple up to them, shall we? One. Possibly on the Dapple one. Yep, completely fine. Enjoy the running session. So yeah guys, that's the end of the running session and the review. Before I give my opinion on prices, I'll tell you what was pulling the train, which was the fantastic Dapple Great Western 43XX Mogul. The reason I went for that is I wanted to change from the Manners, the Grangers, the 78XX. I just want to go with something that matches delivery. I think it does, being a shirt button and it's got Great Western on the tender. Rolling stock wise, we had two from Dapple, which were the Dad's Army stuff. We had Rapido's Southeast and Chatham 10 ton and their made up livery gunpowder van from Great Northern and the Titfield Thunderbolt. We also had, like I said, the EFE Somerset and Dorset Joint Railway 10 ton covered van, an Oxford Rail covered van, and then we had two 3-plank wagons at either end before the guards, which were a mainline one, which is the LMS, and then a Bachmann one, which is the East Iron Mind. And then we had two toads by mainline and one by Rapido. Just a short train, just to run something a bit different to fish. I was unsure what to run, so I went for this. I do have a few fish wagons. They are the Hornby ones with the big decouplings. I just want to go with this for a change. So before I get on to my opinion, I'll get on to the pricing, which was interesting from Bachmann, shall we say. So Bachmann's is £29.95 from their website, which is quite low for Bachmann, especially a new tooled item. Their Southeast and Chatham dancehall brake van that they do in 00 was £50 brand new from them, all of them in 00. So this is quite cheap compared to that. If you get this from a model shop in any livery, I believe, you are talking around £25 and 50 pence, give or take, depending on the shop. I got mine from TMC and I paid, I think, £24–25 for it. For a new tooled item, it's quite impressive, especially when you compare it to the Hornby Christmas wagon that they release every year. This year in 2024, from Hornby, you're talking £30, and from the retailers, you're talking basically the same price as this. And that has been around for many years. It hasn't changed at all. So that is a good price for the Bloater fish wagon. Hornby should be ashamed of that price, if I'm honest with you. Others, you can't really compare it to Dapple's covered vans like you see the Dad's Army and Hodges, because they're all tooled, and a basic livery one is like £12, £13 from the retailers. And Oxford Rail haven't really released any rolling stock in some time, so you can't really compare it to that. But it is, give or take, the region of a new tooled rolling stock item. I think Rapido have some at £32. Hornby have some at, again, I think it's £30–32 depending on the rolling stock. So for me, the price isn't too bad. I know everyone moans about the pricing and it's too expensive, it's this, it's that. If it is too expensive and you really want one, I honestly would wait for a sale. 9 times out of 10, they will end up in some sort of sale, a Christmas sale, a summer sale, and they'll be like probably half the price. It's what I've done with a few of my rolling stock that I wanted. I just waited, as much as I wanted them, I just waited for them to drop in a sale. And I've also done it with a few Lurcos as well. So that's what I do. But if you're not too bothered about the pricing, yeah, they do. I think they do the Great Western and they do a BR one. I think they might do a few Preserve ones, if I have that correct. But overall, nothing of this fell off. The couplings did their job. Okay, one was a little droopy, but it still connected and did its job. It's a very basic tooling, which is good for people with heavy hands. Nothing, like I said, nothing's going to fall off. And for me, the pricing is reasonable, even at the Bachmann price. For me, it's reasonable. It's not too high, it's not too low like the Octave Rail prices that when they released new tooled. It's not that low. So overall, I quite like it. It's just a different type of rolling stock. It makes some trains a little longer, and I went for the shirt button just to be unusual because I've never seen many vans, Great Western vans, in a shirt button livery. So that was my excuse for buying this one, really. And that is my review of the EFE/Bachmann, possibly /Kerno fish bloater vans. I think it's a 10-ton one or 12-ton one. That is my opinion on it. That's my review. If you have any questions or queries, please drop them in the comment section and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Hope you stay safe, please take care, and goodbye.